That's how filled up our water. That's amazing. That's crazy. Don't kick them, for crying out loud. There's 1,600 gallons of water in there.
I to see if that would move.
You love the beard.
I don't know.
The
Look
beard,
at that. There's so much of
The
it.
beard is your master. I'm not really seeing any leaks from that. Just, oh, there's one. Yep, still leaking. Oh. We really want to get the rainwater system set up so we can stop hauling water from town every week. But we still have jobs and a long list of things to do inside and out before we can get drywall installed. There's a lot going on behind the scenes, and unfortunately we can't film it all. I would greatly appreciate if you didn't hit my fingers.
I'm bad at this.
I know, it takes practice to get it. If we do pennant lights, getting two looks stupid. But again, if we're going to have this centerpiece that comes all the way up, we really can't do anything but two lights. Unless we push them out here and do three out there, but those would be pendants.
Why don't we just do ceiling lights and then we just kind of get.
Well, kind of as like I expected. These are really hard to get sealed up. And came out here, and sure enough, that one's leaking. Everything else seems to be doing just fine. So went ahead and tried to tighten that up just with the wrench here, and it's still got a tiny leak, so I'm gonna have to just go ahead and take it apart tomorrow. Looking at my gauge though, you know, the water level right now is above the 200 mark, so it's been raining for maybe an hour. It hasn't even really been a super heavy rain. We've already got 400 gallons, over 400 gallons, so that's cool. So with it being above there, I should be able to turn the pump on and get pressure over that hose bib tomorrow, because right now the water level is right about here on that pipe. So when I turn that on, it'll suck the water through, but the check valve will keep it in here. So the water level doesn't have to be up above this, it just needs to be above this to be able to suck water in there. And we're filling up fast, so it's raining pretty good, and it's supposed to rain for hours, all night almost. So we may get quite a bit of water. And it'll be interesting to see if we have any other leaks or if things go smoothly or not. So definitely got a leak there, and that's the spot I expected it to leak at. Anytime you have a non-glued joint, and those twist-on pieces are just really hard to get in there perfect. You got a potential for a leak, so not unexpected, but I can get that fixed. You just have to basically take it apart and clean it and put it back together and see how tight you can get that sucker. Okay, it's the next morning after our first rain, and I went ahead and shut off the valves last night when it was pouring down because this fitting had a little leak to it. And then I woke up this morning and looked, and there is a tiny leak under that fitting. So that's not, I mean, it's not big, but I'm going to try and fix it anyways. Okay, I got this apart here. Went ahead and tightened this about only 1/8 of a turn. So I'll do 1/8 at a time. I don't want to over tighten it and have it pop off. Plus there's really not much more room I could tighten there. The only thing I could do, if I still can't get this tightened, would be to loosen it all the way out and then get a rubber gasket to fit in there and seal it up that way. So we'll see how it performs with 1/8 of a turn. And then it's starting to sprinkle again, so we're going to get a bit more rain, looks like. But the drain tube worked out just like I thought it would. Worked out fine. On this side there is a little burr right here. Everything else seems to be okay, but right there's a burr. So I'm gonna get out the knife and nip that off, and then dry it out and put it back together, and hopefully it won't leak again. Well, putting that back together was a lot more difficult than taking it apart, that's for sure. These the distance between here is just so tight. The only I can think of is to cut this in the middle and then put a slip coupling in there, which has 2 more of these square pieces on it. That would definitely solve that problem, because then I could, basically this would be loose, and then I could slide these back and forth to adjust it and then tighten in the middle. So I may have to do that, because pushing this back together, especially on this side, you could tell it's putting pressure on that rubber gasket in there. It doesn't, I don't see any leaks, so I'd say it's okay, but it was definitely concerning, not something I want to do more than once or twice. I'm not really seeing any leaks from that. Just, oh, there's one. Yep, still leaking. Oh. So, I'm not going to worry about that just yet, but I'm probably going to have to take that apart, and I'm going to drain this tank to do it, but take it apart and put a rubber O-ring in there, a gasket around that fitting, and then put all that together. And when I do that, I can go ahead and cut this and put that slip coupling in. The one that I cut the burr off of looks like it's fine now. That was nice, had enough water pressure in there. I released, opened that one up and opened this one up, and then released the air from here. So I can hear it flowing through. I'm probably gonna come out right here. I can hear the water going through. So my water level's actually got to be above this if it's doing that. So that puts us over 1,200 gallons. I can't see the line. But if water is able to flow through this and actually push up over this, our water level's got to even be higher than that for the pressure to push down and up. I keep forgetting to turn the camera when I'm doing this stuff. I just turned the pump on and kind of hid over there behind the barrel when I flipped the switch in case something blew up. But stopped right at 50 pounds. This is set for a 30-50, which means it'll turn on when the pressure hits 30 pounds and it will stop when it hits 50 pounds. So that worked flawlessly. The only leak I'm potentially seeing is right here, which is fixable. Just need to tighten up that fitting a little bit. Everything else seems to be pretty good. Got condensation on that because the water is cold. So a couple minor leaks, but everything seems to work fine. Let's got my hose out there. We'll see how the pressure is. Looks pretty good. Well, after pressurizing the system, I did find another leak up in there. Let me see if I can switch this. So I got a leak at that joint. That one's gonna suck. Okay, so I was off by a lot as far as how much water we have in here. Here's our 1,600 gallon mark. I don't know if you can see it, but right there is where our water level is. So that's, we got 3,200 gallons of water last night in that rain off of our roof. And that wasn't even a heavy rain. That wasn't even a heavy rain.
I know.
So, holy cow, I am so glad I put in those overflow tubes because I think we're going to be using them. Oh, actually, you can see it. See the water line? See the change in color? Because this is colder and that's not as cold. You can see a water line right there, right across that 1,600 mark.
Oh, yeah.
So there you go. That's how filled up our water. That's amazing. That's crazy. Don't kick them. For crying out loud, there's 1,600 gallons of water in there.
I had to see if that would move.
Seriously? Oh my god, little scientist. You should know better than that. Don't kick the couple tons of water sitting there next to our house. Jeez. Like you're raised in a barn or something.
You are going to be raised in a barn.
I know. It's a pretty fancy barn. All right, well that's a lot of water. That's kind of scary all at the same time. So
Good thing you got those overflow pipes.
I know I wasn't thinking I was going to put those in until later, but I'm so glad I put them in now. I got to seal those holes up because it rains again, it could fill up, it could start spilling out up there. So I gotta get on the ball and get that set up. So
Gotta get it done today, Daddy.
I know, I'm working on it. Gotta go to the store again.
Okay. Well then, now this isn't such a bad leak.
Don't push it. Jeez.
Okay, I'm pointing at it.
Yeah, I can fix that one, but I thought I'd only have to drain out like, 400, 500 gallons, not 1,600 gallons of water. So I got to drain this whole tank if I'm going to fix that fitting. Well, I mean, we got 1,600 gallons over here, so when I drain them out, they'll equalize at 800 in each tank, so I can still do it, but yeah, that's a lot of water. That's pretty crazy. That leak is fixed. I was able to give it one rotation and it's good to go. So got the leak under there, which I'm definitely not happy about, but I can turn off that valve and go ahead and drain it once I'm done flushing out the filters, and then take that apart and see if I can get it fixed. This one doesn't seem to really dripping anymore. Oh, no, it just all drip, damn it. I'm tempted not to do anything with it because I don't want to drain all that water. I did notice when the pump kicked on and off, this shook a little bit. So I haven't tap conned it to the ground yet, so make sure I get that done so it doesn't vibrate and shake back and forth. Any shaking on this pipe, of course, is concerning. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased so far. Not happy about that leaking, but everything else I'm pretty cool with.
How did you miscalculate 3,200 gallons?
Well, I looked at the bottom. I thought I only saw it around 800 or so.
You recording?
If you can see the line there.
Oh.
Yeah.
How
And then
come?
so Sydney came here and I was looking at it like, she goes, "How much in it?" I said, "Well, I'll show you what the line is." Don't see that she kicks the freaking thing.
Why didn't kick it? Why can't I touch it?
I was like,
Am I not
"What are you
allowed to touch
doing?"
it?
She goes, "Oh wow, boom!" And I'm like, "Oh my god!"
Don't do that. Why am I not allowed to touch
She
it?
goes, "I want to see if the water line moved." I'm like, "That's cold. It's gonna take forever."
So how is that not calculated right? That's a lot of water.
No, it was. It's just I thought I saw the line down there. I was looking at a bubble. I wasn't looking at the. So I was trying to light up here, and I saw a bubble, and I'm like, "Oh, we're right about there." But then when I opened the valve up, I'm like, "Man, the water is pushing all the way through everything, which means the water level has to be higher than this." So the Sydney came out, we started looking up, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And I backed up and saw the line. This
So I
is
can't
cold,
touch
you know?
it?
Well, you can touch it, but Sydney was like, boom! There's her footprint right there. Show you what this is doing. See how it's coming out gritty? That's the carbon charcoal and everything in the filter. So I'm supposed to run this until the run it until it goes clear. This one didn't take too long. That one looks like it's still a little bit dirty, so it's getting there.
Yeah, that's better.
It's got a little bit of gray in it still. Now it's getting better.
You do that one?
Yeah, I already did this one. So that's about how noisy the pump is. But yeah. See when it shuts off how it shakes the plumbing? It's almost to 50. That thing's on too. It's not supposed to run for more than 2 minutes. That wasn't too bad. It shook the plumbing a little bit. Okay, I'm ready to go ahead and drain the tanks. So I've got my shut-off valves off here and here, and this is my drain line. So if I open this up, it'll drain all the pressure out of my tank here. That should allow me to unhook this and then lay it down and check that fitting underneath. So I'm going to take the fitting all the way out and see if the threads are damaged or not, and hopefully they're not. I've got this valve off and that valve off. This valve is off to keep all the water in the line, although the check valve should do that too. That way it stays primed and stays pressurized. This valve is off because I'm going to drain this tank. So I've got that one on. When I open this one, it'll start draining all the water from this tank. So I've got to drain it all the way down so I can fix this fitting right there. So go ahead and get that going now. This isn't in there very well. This isn't quite the setup I wanted, but I gotta mark these which way you turn them because I always keep trying to turn them the wrong way. It's gonna be a lot of water coming out of this guy. Turn the pressure down so I don't wash all my rock away. All right, well, that's a shame. Okay, it sounds like the pressure tank is fully drained out now. So I'm gonna undo this coupling. I'm sure water is gonna come out of here still. But I can shut it off there, drain the tank.
It's starting to curl.
You love the beard.
I don't know.
The
Look
beard-
at that. There's so much of
The
it.
beard is your master. That's what I deal with. I do all the work. She plays with my beard. I never had a beard.
You know it's long. You do all the work. What am I doing upstairs?
You're not upstairs.
I'm
You're
not
down-
upstairs.
You're down here
That's
playing with
because
my beard.
Valerie's in a meeting. I'm doing school and work.
Alright.
Dude,
We'll have to shave this off because I got a meeting tomorrow.
I
Anyway.
know.
So I won't shave it off. I'll trim it back. But yeah, it's pretty.
it's really, it's never ever been this long.
It's pretty furry. I can make my mouth disappear. All right, back to business.
Back to work. Back to
to work.
school.